Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today is September 25th, 2011, and my name is Silverfish, and you are watching Overgrowth Weekly number 41. And I hope you will continue to do so for the next hour or so, depending on how long we go. But any users, you might have noticed that Anton is not here right now. That is because I guess he has something else to do. You know, he has real life, but he will be arriving quite soon, almost certainly. He said he would be arriving slightly after the show started. So I will be waiting for him, but before he arrives, I'm just going to get on with the show. So first we have the alpha, of course, as we always do. If my web browser will want to load, that's not always certain. Looks like my internet connection is a bit wonky. There we go. Yes, so Overgrowth Alpha 149. And as usual, they have the little video changelog there. So this week they added some really cool stuff. Most noticeably, as you can see, they have the procedural shuffling animation. So added procedural foot shuffle animation, and this is, you know, this makes the battles in Overgrowth feel super duper awesome, if you ask me. As he says in the video as well, they feel much more intense and so on. So I'm going to load up a level here and show you how that looks. Yeah, as Danking 92 Nor says, Anton has a real life. As opposed to me, that only does Overgrowth stuff ever in my entire life. So, let's just do some combat. Mortal Kombat! So as you can see, I'm always turned towards my opponent. And the funniest thing you can do with this actually is if you hold the duck key and move around, you will do this kind of thing. I don't know what he's doing here, but it looks kind of funny. Of course, things that will be fixed eventually, but for now they just look fun. And if you run close to someone, I've turned off the combat right now, so every time I run close to someone, they're all suspicious of me. Yeah, cool stuff. Okay, next up. We have keep facing enemies when in range and moving slowly enough. That's basically the same thing as added procedural foot shuffle animation. These two are very much related. Next we have enemies circle strafe and adjust to range. So let's take a look at that. Let's turn on the freaking combat again. Yo, buddy. Let's try to survive. As you can see, he circle strafes. And he adjusts his range. Damn you! Damn you all to hell! Oh, okay, I died. Damn it. Blood drips work better with character level of detail. Not really sure exactly what this does, but of course it's good that something works better with something else in this video game. So I'm happy. AI startle delay. Startle? Yeah, I don't know English. I'm just guessing here while I'm talking. Let me show you that in the game. Okay, that was bad. You heard me too early. So there's a slight delay after they have heard you before they actually start doing something. So if I jump up here, you see he just stands there, he like turns around slightly, and then he starts attacking me after a little while. Instead of starting running towards me instantly. Next we have voices stop on death, which is all good, of course. The problem though is that voices do not stop when you just become unconscious. So if you do this, for instance, let's see if I can die. Yeah, he doesn't really stop shouting. That's because I jumped into the rock and that doesn't kill me. I just become, you know, unconscious. So that's kind of weird, but yeah, it actually does work for dying. I actually tried it. That sounds very interesting to look at, though, I think. But you should probably make it work for when you become unconscious as well, because right now it's just weird that you jump into a wall and he keeps screaming even though he's unconscious. I don't know. I don't scream when I'm unconscious. Like, I've been unconscious just one time, I think, in my life, and I'm pretty sure I didn't scream. Of course, I wouldn't know because I was unconscious, but yeah. So that's that. And next we have sound effects have precise maximum distance control. This is also good because this allows them to tweak the gameplay better because they have more control over how far the sound can reach. This is also related to something that's not on the list, but they can adjust how well different characters can hear. So they made it so that the rabbits can hear much better than, you know, other races can, for instance. Which is always good. I know someone is killing me in the background, but I think that's quite okay. And then we have updated Bullet to 2.79. This is just updating... Bullet is the physics engine that Overgrowth uses. So they've updated that physics engine to a later version that hopefully fixes issues perhaps that were present in an earlier version or adds new features that makes it easier to use that library. So that's also good. And next we have blood sticks on weapons. And this is of course something that is fun stuff. That's why I have these weapons lying around here. Let's pick up the spear. Whee! But notice that there is blood on my weapon now. Let's do that with the other guy as well. I want more blood on my weapon. Yo bro, this one. There we go. Yeah, bloody weapons. Always a nice sight. I think it looks kind of weird when you use it on... I mean, it looks really good on the spear here right now. I think. I mean, this amount of blood feels appropriate, I think, even for just one stab wound. Like, I don't know how bloody a weapon becomes when someone gets stabbed, luckily. But if you take a look at how it looks like with a sword, you don't get a lot of blood when you kill someone with a sword. And it feels like it should get more bloody. And the same thing with a spear. But that's basically a matter of just adjusting the actual texture that he projects onto the blade. So that should be a pretty quick fix that I think any you know, dabbling modder should be able to fix as well. So yeah, it's good. Blood on weapons, good, good, good. More blood, yay. And then we have a re-enabled slow motion for player knockouts. I think I probably showed you this before, but I didn't tell you about it. When a player is an enemy or a player is knocked out, it does go for the enemies as well, by the way. When I'm knocked out, there is slow motion at the very least. Yeah, he died there, I think. Or was he knocked out? I'm not sure. So it might just happen for when the player dies. Let's actually investigate that. Ouch, I died again. Get here. Get here. Let's just do this. Let's make me not the player. Let's remove one of these. There we go. No, it only happens when the player actually dies, which I think is kind of bad. We've been talking about the slow motion stuff earlier, and basically I think it would be good if we had slow motion at the very least when they're knocked out. Why is he just running away? Oh, he's fighting the invisible enemy, I see. Yeah, there he was knocked out, but no slow motion. What's up with that, son? What's up with that? But anyways, that's the end of the changelog. So, lots of cool stuff this week. Most notably, we have the procedural foot shuffle animation and blood on the weapons. I think that's the most important stuff here right now. And we're looking forward to next week, and at the end of this show, we're going to take a look at a few tweets that are hinting towards what we might see in the next alpha. So, look forward to that. But before we get there, down to the news segment, we move out of the weekly alpha segment and into the community segment, where we take a look at what the community has been up to in the previous week. And we start out, as usual, with the fan art watch. And there has been a few posts this week. First up, we have an image by yours truly. We have an image by me. I don't really have a lot to say about this. Well, I have a few things to say about it, but I didn't write a lot about it. I said, I finally finished my fan art drawing. Yeah, click it for full size. And then I uploaded a color corrected image because I kind of forgot to color correct it before I uploaded it. I know the game is making sounds. I can turn it off. Let's see. Let's remove that guy. There we go. Alright. Let's remove that guy as well. Like so. Okay. So. Yeah, here we have fan art made by me, as I said. This took a lot of time for me to do. It took like 20 to 24 hours. So you can say that it looks kind of good, but considering the time it took, it should probably look a lot better. But I'm very proud of it. It's the best image that I've drawn ever, anytime. So I'm excited about that. And you can download it in full size, and it's 1680 by 1050, which is my monitor resolution. So that's why I have that. And if you're wondering, the background, the wall in the background is actually from the game. And then I've kind of drawn around that wall. And next we have an image by Fidgel, who has been posting, yeah, quite a few images in the past weeks. So he writes about this one. Okay, that's not about that one. So I was putting up another picture of Turner with lighting practice in mind. Not very detailed, but this was pretty much a quick one. And concerning the lighting, I think the lighting could actually be worked on even more. I think the lighting in this image is, it feels a bit flat. He should probably try to have some kind of other, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just that it's so white or something. But the lighting, it looks okay, but it doesn't tell me the you know, material properties very well in this image. But overall, I mean, the image looks very good. But since he said it was just the lighting, yeah, I just commented on the lighting. And I think the lighting stuff is mostly in the right places though. So in general, good stuff by Fidgel. And then we have an image showing how bad I am. So this image is made by Hi Nathan. He writes, here's my rat thing. I really have no idea. I'm digging the art above me, so sweet everyone. And this image is pretty much pro. Yeah, this is pretty much pro stuff. This is how I will want to be able to draw, because I think this is just awesome. I have no bad things to say about this. Yeah, just awesome. Awesome rat thing. And then we have another image by Fidgel. He writes, here's something I've been doing for the past couple of days. It's just a little spin-off scenario from my crazy imagination. In a nutshell, a group of bounty hunters manage to ambush and capture Turner, and they take him to a greedy cat who uses him as a fighting contestant in the arena to earn some serious cash, rather than turn him in dead or alive. Tell me what you guys think. I tried to give it a cutscene feel. Maybe I should have added blinds. Yeah, I like this image. It's really cool. It really gives off the cutscene feel, and yeah, I just really like it. The lighting is in this image, by the way, I think is much better than the lighting in the previous image shown by Fidgel. Much more detailed. And as I say that, I say welcome to Anton. I don't know, Anton, do you have your stuff set up so you can speak?
I should be able to speak, but I do not yet see the stream, so I'm not quite caught up to where we're at.
I see. Well, welcome to the show, Anton.
Hey guys, how's it going? Sorry for the delay, kind of working.
It's cool, it's cool. Well, you have a life, so...
Something like that.
We're in the middle of fan art watch right now, so we're currently looking at Fidgel's second image. You know, the cutscene one, if you remember, with the cat and Turner.
Yes, that's...
So I was just saying that, yeah, I really like this image. I like the
Yeah,
fur of the cat, and the cat's hair looks awesome as well.
it's super like 50s. Um, yeah, I think my favorite thing about it is the depth of field that it kind of creates, where you clearly see that the cat is walking away, and he has this malicious look on his face. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it really has that cutscene feel that he went for.
Yeah, exactly.
So very, very nice job by Fidgel there. And next up we have an image by Burninator X, and it's not as technically, advanced as the previous images, but it's in the fan art thread, so we're going to cover it, and it's very much OG Weekly related, of course.
Absolutely.
So he says, just an image I made for the fan art watch for OG Weekly, because I love those guys and I'm always watching in archives because I either forget or can't make it to the live stream. Aw, thanks man. Thanks Berninator X.
It's awesome, and glad to have another Trogdor fan in the in the thread, or in the community.
Yes.
You know who the Burninator is, right? I hope.
I do not know exactly who that is now.
Oh, so you don't know who Trogdor is?
No, I don't. I'm just saying yes because I don't know.
Did you ever watch Homestar Runner?
No.
Do you know who Strongbad is?
Yeah. I know who Strongbad is. It's the guy with the punching gloves and stuff.
Yes. So Strongbad drew a dragon, teaching people how to draw a dragon, and his dragon was called Trogdor, and he was the Burninator. So.
Oh, I see.
Yes, it's one of those memes that was around for a while, but maybe a little further back than I remember now. It seems like it wasn't that long ago, but
seems like it was just yesterday.
It does. You should definitely check it out because it's very funny.
I will. You'll have to link me later.
I will.
Awesome. So I guess people can read this, but if you're watching in the archives and it's too low quality, it says, "Man, I sure love OG Weekly. Silverfish and Anton are the bee's knees." And on the monitor it says OG Weekly. I guess that's a representation there.
Exactly.
But yeah, very nice image. Very nice image by Burninator X. And was there another one? Yes, there was. So we have an image by Hunting Dog. He's the guy who made the OG Weekly comic, the OG Weekly comic thingies, and I'm actually looking forward to the continuation of that. It's very tense there right now with what was it, the endo and some endophase variation.
Right, he's captured me.
Yes, exactly. So Anton is being held hostage by some variation of endophase, and Super Meat Rabbit is supposed to free Anton, hopefully.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to that, but in the meantime, Hunting Dog has cooked up this. And he says, "Sorry for being gone so long, school and stuff." He says, "But I'm back, so here's my gill suit rabbit. Enjoy, for all that it matters. Stay beautiful. You too, Hunting Dog." So it's a gill suit worn by a rabbit. I think it looks kind of weird.
It kind of, to me, especially with the head being that textured fabric, kind of almost seems like it's a rabbit inside of Little Big Planet or something, that his head is like a hacky sack or something.
Yeah.
I kind of like it. I think ghillie suits are cool, and it's an interesting concept to have a rabbit wearing one. But at the same time, it doesn't look like it would offer very much actual protection or visual camouflage unless you were in a field of green peacock feathers.
Yeah. I think, though, to his defense, it looks like he does not have a drawing pad. I would guess, or maybe he does. He did. I mean, the comics do look pretty good. We don't know if he has one. Oh, I think he does have one because it does look kind of detailed actually. Now that I look at it.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, it's pretty detailed. I think the time that he spent is amazing. I like some of the textures and things like that. To be honest.
Yeah, me too. I especially like the rabbit ears.
They look very fluffy. They look like a stuffed rabbit ears, you know, that you would give a kid or something. So
they do.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I like it, but in general, I think his what he needs to do is, it looks like he just drew it, you know, he just started drawing like this right away, when he probably should draw more like outlines or something like that, so he has more of an idea how it's supposed to look. And because it feels like it doesn't have any structure, it feels like it's not being held up by anything, if you know what I mean. It doesn't feel real. So that's what I think is, you know, the biggest problem with it. But in general, I think it's a pretty cool picture.
Yeah. Yeah.
Once again, made by Hunting Dog. So nice stuff. And that's actually the end of the fan art watch for this week.
Cool.
Indeed, indeed. So that brings us out of the fan art watch and into this next item on the agenda, which is a model Bear Clan character by Andridge. Yes. He writes, "Here's yet another post from the inactive artist who comes around every blue moon. Sorry about that, I'm quite terrible at forming in general. I don't know how you can be good at forming. I guess you just have to, I guess a lack of life would be good, because then you have time to hang around in forums and stuff." Just kidding, of course. And then he writes, "I'm going to do the 3D model of the old Bear Clan concept art I created over a year ago. And he's working on it right now, apparently planning on using the remainder of the weekend to come at least to the 3D sculpting stage." So if you don't remember, a long time ago, I should say, this guy made this concept art of a bear. And he's now going to make that concept art into a 3D model, so that's very cool. And he's already gotten past these two steps, so right now it looks like this, I'm guessing. Oh, it's even an animation, how cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So right now it's looking very good. I hope he really goes through and finishes this, because having a bear in Overgrowth, that would be quite awesome.
Yes, bears are very cool.
Indeed. So we're going to keep following this, trying to keep up to date and make sure to not miss any updates here every week. And hopefully we will see a final model in a few weeks. So that's quite exciting. Looking forward to this, because he can really draw and he can really model as well, looking at this. I haven't seen any sculpts from him, but I'm sure he can sculpt as well with these drawing skills.
Yeah, it's looking pretty cool so far already.
Yeah. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Next we have a mod called Hotspot Movement Mod, made by Max12230. We talked about this last week. I think he wrote about it, but he didn't actually post the actual mod. But now it's available for download, and so you can check it out. I'm having problems with it though. Have you tried out this mod, Anton?
I actually have not tried the mod yet, unfortunately.
I did try it out, and I just couldn't get it to work. Like, I can put all the icons where they should be and stuff like that, but they just don't work. Like, nothing happens when I pass through them. But you have this little video here showing you what should happen when you pass through them, and when I do, just nothing happens. So I don't know if you forgot to include a file or something, but hopefully that will be updated, and if it's working next week, I'll show it then instead.
Right. It's actually a pretty cool concept. Sort of reminds me of, you know, some sort of race with, you know, unnatural moments. Like you could use it to try and race around or something like that, where getting these bonuses helps you compete it in faster time or something like that. So it's a cool physics idea, I think.
Yeah, it could turn Overgrowth into like a really hardcore, like super parkour game, which I think is quite exciting actually.
Yeah. So hopefully we see more and that it continues to be developed. He seems to definitely have a lot of interesting ideas for ways to use the hotspots that we haven't seen so far. So, you know, I'm excited to see him use them this way.
I agree. So hopefully this will be working next week and we can test it out. But until then, let's just move on with the agenda.
Okay.
Next we have a video. It's called The Leb's Fate, and it's made by a guy called Insomnia. So I'm not going to show you this entire video, but I can tell you that it's pretty hardcore. I'd say it's the most hardcore video released so far for Overgrowth, like in terms of editing, because it has lots of really good editing in it in general.
Right.
And let's see what he writes about it. Yeah, the story is about a courageous rabbit. Let's turn off the music entirely. The story is about a courageous rabbit named Leb, Turner's twin rabbit brother, who faces a deadly enemy sniper in order to gain his honor and respect from his own kind. So yeah, I can highly recommend you watch this video. Just click the link in the agenda to check it out. Yeah, really cool stuff made by Insomnia.
Yep.
Next we have a mod that you probably know a few things about, Anton. It's the main menu mod, or main menu with custom maps mod, I can say, made by, well, you. So I'm just going to let you talk about this.
Okay, well, I mean, I feel like it's a pretty straightforward mod. Basically, I sort of spent some time and I went and I found every custom map that I had found made yet for the game, and I packaged them together so that you can launch them from the main menu of Overgrowth. So it was, you know, it was a lot of time finding a lot of maps, testing all of the maps, taking screenshots of all the maps, and then pasting them in a way so that it was easy to launch. And you know, I do have to thank Samusaron3 or Aaron. He helped me redesign the HTML code so that we could have a second line of so that the mods were separate from the default maps. But yeah, I mean, basically it adds right now 41 new maps to Overgrowth. You can now load at the click of a button.
Oh yeah.
So, and there are more on the way, more maps, and we'll keep adding maps as they're created. And Samusaron3 has also been working on some interesting ways to keep it up to date and easier ways to install it. So we may see some easy ways to install and update it in the future. So yeah, it's awesome. There are maps from a lot of people. Right now they're in alphabetical order of the creator, but I think what I'll do is I add new maps. I'll probably put them at the beginning of the list so new maps will show up first. Mm-hmm. And you can find the newer maps easier that way and try them out.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So every week when you download the alpha, you can also download this mod, and then you can try out new maps while you mess around with the new like alpha features. That would be awesome.
Yeah. So I'm actually really happy with the way it turned out, and also the response from people seem to like it so far. So I think it's definitely worth keeping it up in the future. So
this is a really great mod. Like it will basically replace the real mod system or the real map system that they will have in place until they have that in place, I assume.
I'm guessing so. I mean, I thought I had seen a user interface to load custom maps and stuff, but I don't know if that's there yet. So yeah, for now it helps, I think.
Yeah, so awesome. So if you want to try out some custom maps, or more like 41 custom maps for Overgrowth, You can just download this
Yeah.
mod. How big is it? Is it what, 40 or 70 meg or something like that?
I think unzipped it's about 87 meg. I think zipped it's around 47. So now there are some things that are missing from this mod currently. Right now I don't have any of the shadow maps or the navigation maps installed. So that's something that I think I would like to do, but it takes a long time to generate all those maps and stuff, and they will also be very large download. So in the future, I probably will add them, and I might try and get people to help me create the shadow maps. If people want to do that, they should let me know, and we'll try and create all those and make them available. Because creating shadow maps on your own can be a pain, and some people's computers can't do it, and it can crash and all that kind of stuff. So there's still work to be done on it. And unfortunately some maps that I found were not able to run anymore, but we did get a promise from Zeramules that next week he'll update his linear level kit, and I can try and include those for at least a week. So, which is awesome. I was excited by that he said he was going to do it, because I really want to play his arena again.
Yeah, Zeramules linear level kit, like in general.
Yeah.
It's very awesome.
It is. So, and unfortunately I also did not include Marcus's old China map or the Moon is Down maps, because it had so many custom objects that for me to include it into my packaging, I think it added like another gig or something. So,
whoa.
Because I mean, old China was huge. It was like a gig, wasn't it? Or
I think
or
so.
100 meg, or I mean, whatever it was. It was not a small amount. Yeah.
It was larger than this mod is right now, at least, and I don't think it's worth that.
Yeah. So, so unfortunately, I did have to skip a few things I wanted to. But potentially I could make them as alternate downloads, or I linked to them in the thread, so you can download them yourself as well. So
that's good. So this thread could also be like, I mean, I see you have links to all the maps here, right? So
I do.
Now that you have this running, I'm guessing you're going to update this list as well.
That's my plan. So I'd love to have a thread like this where we have links to all of the potential maps. So, sorry, I really need to take a phone call. I'm really sorry, guys.
No problem.
It's work. I'll be back.
Okay. So, yeah, that's the main menu with custom maps mod made by Anton Riehl, and we will certainly see more about this mod in the future. So, I mean, it took lots of hours. He writes that here, anyways. After many late nights this week, I present you with my new main menu mod packaged with over 40 custom maps from the community. So, check it out. He put lots of work into it, and he probably will put lots of more work into it. Yeah, custom maps. Yay! So let us move on with the agenda. That brings us out of the community segment, and we move on into the community side note segment. It's kind of like the community segment, but in here we don't go into as much detail about the things, because we've already talked about them many times before. And this just keeps popping up, so I'm going to minimize this. There we go. So first we have Blood Mod by Last. Last, as you probably know, keeps updating his blood mod every week. Every week he updates his blood mod to work. The blood mod adds more blood to the game. Like when you just punch with your hands, you'll get blood and so on. So I really like this mod. And many people do like this mod as well. It has been downloaded 14 times this week, which is 50% increase since last week. Yay! So that's very nice work. I really like the blood mod, and I'm guessing lots of people do too, apparently. So check that out, the blood mod by Last. And next we have a dev tool, the weekly script dump by Learn More. Learn More has a program that he made that extracts information from the exe files of Overgrowth about what script functions you can use when scripting for Overgrowth in AngelScript. So if you're a developer and want some kind of reference that you can look at to see what you can do, download this. Also, every week he posts the differences, so you can see like what has been added and what has been removed. He just compares the compares the two different versions of the script files that he generates. So this week, for example, since he added the ability to stop the voices when the characters in the game die, he apparently added a function called stop voice, for instance, that apparently stops the voice of a character. And as you can see what it takes and stuff like that. But yeah, anyways, you developers will understand this. Non-developers probably won't understand this. So if you're a developer and want to make scripts for Overgrowth, check it out. And that's the end of the community side note segment. And let's move on. Let's move on into the news segment. Let's do that. Sounds like a plan. And so here we have a blog post, Overgrowth Volunteer Orchestra Update. I think I missed this last week, so therefore it is on this week's agenda. It was posted on the 18th, and that is the day of Overgrowth Weekly, so I don't know if it was posted before or after Overgrowth Weekly. But in any case, if you remember, maybe I did cover this last week. In that case, I'm covering it twice because it's so awesome. So if you remember, there has been a volunteer orchestra for Overgrowth where they're making, they're basically recording just Overgrowth music live, but anyone can contribute with their part to the orchestra. And let's see. So what you can do is you click this list link here. That'll take you to this list where you can just select which instrument you want to play for it, and then you can download the they have PDF files that show the notes, and I think they have MIDI files as well that show you the notes. Let's see, right here for instance. What you get? Yeah, you get PDF files showing what to do, and with click. I don't actually know what this is, but you music guys probably know. In any case, if you're interested in making music for Overgrowth, the Overgrowth Volunteer Orchestra, they are missing some instruments, so check it out. Check it out if you're interested in playing some. I'm kind of waiting for Anton to get back here because he might have something to say about this, because he kind of put together a few of the yeah, I think he put together like parts of this. It sounds great, by the way, so far. And on it goes. And I think it goes on for 8 minutes or something. Yeah, 8-minute arrangement. So that's going to be really, really interesting. Like, I'm going to play this on the show, if I am allowed. I can see why I wouldn't be. So you'll get to listen to it while it's when it's done. But yeah. Yeah, so this is cool. If you can make music, you should make music for this. Otherwise, I'll come to your house and tell you you're a bad person. Bad person. Next we have, let's see. So I don't know, maybe I covered that last week, I hope not, because then it was a repeat, but that's fine. Next we have another blog post, Art Asset Overview 22. So every once in a while, around once a week or so, Aubrey posts a art asset overview. Aubrey is the guy that makes all the graphics and all the concept art for Overgrowth. So let's take a look at this and see what he has for us this week.
Welcome to the Overgrowth Art Asset Overview. Recently I have been working on cat models, and I decided to take a little break from that. I am getting ready to go to Fantastic Arcade, a offshoot of the Fantastic Fest Film Festival in Austin. And Fantastic Arcade is free to the general public, so I would check into that if you're in the area. and you like indie games, because they have kind of an all-star lineup again this year. So I'm heading to that, and I wanted to get some easy assets out of the way, so I decided to make some things that I've had on my mind for a while. These are basically replacements for previous assets that I made that I wasn't totally happy with. Modders for a long time have been asking me about a decent set of stairs, so I finally made those too. Even though these assets are pretty simple, I think they're pretty fun to move around in. I kept these pretty generic. They can be used with a lot of the existing assets. As you can see here, I have combined them with the previous Cat City assets. These are simple environments that I just put together for the video, but I think that they look cool and they're fun to play in. That's it for this week's Art Asset Overview. Don't forget, you can pre-order the game at wolfire.com/preorder. Thanks.
And that was this week's Art Asset Overview. Are you...
Which is awesome.
Yeah, which is awesome. So Anton is back. Hi,
I'm
Anton
back.
again.
Hello, but only briefly, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
You got some work stuff or something?
Yeah, some work stuff is coming up. But the stairs in that look awesome. I love those new platforms and new places to build. I think it's a great place to run around. So.
Yeah. They're really cool. And I like this cat concept art he shows at the beginning as well. It's just...
Yeah.
It's just awesome.
It is. His concept art often is good. But what I like is I actually like the background, that it looks like he's in a house looking out a window, but it's not like I don't know. I think it's very cool.
Yeah, it's just awesome. I think he probably used a photo for this as well. Like I see it looks like he picks the colors from the background when he's making the cat. Actually, so it might be that the background is actually a photo, and then that's why the background is so awesome, and the setting for it looks just great. And that's probably something that I'm going to look into doing as well, because when you're making a concept for like a character or something like that, and you want that character to be in a scene, and you really want to make the image about the character and nothing else, why not just pick a background image that you like and then just draw over it so it looks drawn, and then pick the colors from that when you draw it, and then use the same colors on the model to just make it melt into the image, make it look like it really fits there. That's kind of what he showed in the last artist overview as well, and yeah, I want to do that, man.
Right. It's cool. Didn't you do something similar with your arena drawing? Where
I did something. You mean the with the wall and stuff?
Yes.
Kinda, but not really. What I did was I took. I think it's more called matte painting, if I recall correctly. It's when I took an image from the game, and then I just drew around that wall, because I didn't want to have to make the wall, because the wall isn't straight; it's round, and it has lots of different details on it. It has loads of bricks. And it's I'm supposed to draw it in perspective and stuff. So what I did, I just took an image from the game, and then I drew over that image to get everything in the right place. But I didn't really use any colors from the background image or anything like that.
Right.
So, and I actually spent a considerable amount of time on the background, really.
Right. No, I can tell, but I thought that there was maybe some similarities between the two concepts of drawing on top of another image to help you sort of get that perspective.
Yeah, there
things
certainly
like that.
are similarities. They both help the artist because they don't. In both cases, we don't have to come up with our own perspective because our perspective is already there, and then we can just put in the stuff that we want. So yeah, there are definitely similarities, and it does help out a lot.
Right.
Because I hate doing perspective. Doing perspective is like, it's okay, like it's fine when you've done it. You feel like, yeah, that looks really nice. But while you're doing it, you're just drawing lines. It's just a bunch of lines. So it's not very fun to do. But when you've done it and when you actually start drawing over it, yeah, it can be pretty good, I guess.
Cool.
But it's not very artistic work, to put it like that.
I see.
So he drew this cat, as we said, very nice. And then he shows us these platforms he made, which are a replacement for old models, apparently, that he made. I'm guessing these are mostly for the cat city, right?
That's certainly where what they replace were defaults for the cat city, plus a new staircase, which is just awesome.
Yeah, the new staircase is super cool as well.
Yeah.
So for the rest of this video, he just shows off these models, basically, showing off what they look like, and then at the end he has a sample scene that he put together very quickly.
Right. And it's fun, man, his sample scenes look so much better than my scenes do at all. It's pretty cool, you know. I'm glad that he's able to use them so conveniently. There's a spot, I think we just passed it, where he ran through a little corridor, and you see him kind of twisting and turning to navigate, and I kept thinking, man, this would be fun to run off the walls and
yeah.
And
I'm actually
anyway.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well when I saw that. Like, I love this the whole cat city idea, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That it's these thin corridors and stuff, and just quite tall buildings and quite tight alleyways and stuff like that. So yeah, I really like this setting in general.
Right.
And here we have
I
the
think it's
sample
cool.
scene at the end. Were you going to say something else?
No, that was it.
Okay, cool. So that's this week's art asset overview. Some art for you guys, and of course some more models that will be released with the next week's alpha, I'm assuming, for all modders to use. Basically, these models were made for the modders, it sounded like, when he was talking about it.
It's certainly this. Well, I think everything he likes to make available for the modders, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they're awesome. So yeah, that's this week's art asset overview. Certainly looking forward to the next one, which we of course will be covering. And next,
as we always do.
Yes,
I said as we always do.
Yes, indeed. And next we have another blog post. Overgrowth. Oh, that's okay. I already had it on the agenda. Oh, I see. Okay, so frantically before the show starts, I'm looking through the blog post, and I'm like, Overgrowth Volunteer Orchestra? What? And then I look at the agenda. That's not on the agenda. Wait, what? And then I quickly add it to the agenda to the top, and I'm like, phew, 20 minutes remaining, and I hadn't added it to the agenda. Yeah, I got it in there. And then I look now, and it's actually duplicate, so that's why I felt like I had already talked about it.
Yeah, I would say you did. Although I kind of missed it since I was on the phone, and it does involve me a little bit.
Yeah, so that's
I'm
good,
not sure. I'm not actually sure what you guys talked about when you were looking at it. I saw you sort of jump through the list of missing instruments, and in a lot of cases, the instruments that are missing, we're looking to kind of layer them to make it sound like a larger group of sounds. You know, so, you know, we can really use almost as many people in those genres as they want. We haven't gotten as strong of a response this time around as we have in previous posts. So I think that we're probably going to have to finish the tracks without quite as many layers as we were hoping for. So at this point, you know, we should start making it. But we do give you some examples there about what the difference between the mock-up, meaning sample libraries and things playing it sounds like, versus what they sound like with the real instruments. And to me, the real instruments are just blow away the sample parts completely. So
Yeah. Let's actually listen to the first one of those, so you guys know what we're talking about. So here in the beginning, they have the sample parts that are not actually real instruments, right?
correct.
And here transitioned into real instruments.
Yep.
So yeah, it's a lot of difference, and it's sounding awesome, I have to say.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it, and I know Miko is excited. So hopefully we're able to sort of finish this in a now timely manner and have something interesting to play with. And again, you know, for a lot of people who were talking about it in the comments, this is not designed to go into the game. This is designed for promotional material only. So we'll, you know, comparing what it will be in the game is really not needed, unfortunately. I don't think that we could actually really get away with having all these volunteers using this material without telling them that we were going to put it in the game and having them, you know, sort of officially agree to have their music in the game. So this is just demo material, or promotional material, I should say.
Okay.
So,
which is too bad. I mean, in some games, you know, you have these credits rolling for like 10 minutes or something.
right.
I'm sure they're not going to have that for Overgrowth. It's going to be like David Rose and like Aubrey Sir, and then like, yeah, like 10 names or something like that.
Oh, you can pad those out.
Yeah. You can like do letter by letter very, very slowly. D A V.
Yeah.
But my point was that something like this would have been awesome for 8 credits that goes on for actually 8 minutes.
It's, you know, that's a possibility. We'll see. You know, I don't want to say for sure it will be used that way, because it definitely is designed not to be used that way. So,
Yeah.
You know, we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah.
So,
still very cool stuff. So if anyone can play these instruments in this list and are willing to do so, then do it, man. And give some of the missing material to the Overgrowth Volunteer Orchestra, to Anton,
yeah.
so that it can be better.
And you guys probably didn't notice, but that list has actually gotten smaller since we first posted that. We have received some parts and we've removed them as we've gone, so that list constantly is being updated. So,
cool.
Yep.
That's not... Oh, it's... Oh, never mind. Yeah. So cool stuff, cool stuff. That's good that I added this again to the agenda then. I think it was fate that maybe added to them. Let's put
it was like
that.
You knew that I was going to have lots of phone calls.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I now have to actually leave to go and deal with the contents of what was discussed during that phone call. So I'm going to have to bid fond farewell.
Okay. So that you'll be missing the Minecraft then?
We'll see. If I can finish what I'm doing, I might try and drop in on Minecraft.
Cool.
But we'll see, because you know I like to hang out with you guys.
Awesome.
So hopefully we'll see you guys soon.
Yeah. See ya.
Okay. See ya. Bye.
Bye bye. So I guess now that Anton is gone, I'm going to have to move on my own. I'm not sure if I will be able to make it, but I'm going to do my best. Next up we have a video, making of sound effects by Tapio Liukonen. He's Finnish. He's called Tapio Liukonen. Tapio Liukonen. Jak talar finska. So we have Finnish guy throwing rocks. Oh yeah, this is a very short video, by the way. So that's how we made the sound effects for the environmental sounds when rocks fall and stuff. So yeah, just a cool small video from Kama Sound and what was his name again? Tapio Liukonen. Tapio Liukonen. Love Finnish people. Wink wink. Next we have a forum post. Another Linux update. We have had a Linux update every week for like the 2 weeks before and the last week, and this week we're having a Linux update as well, and they've all three been like significant. This next one is probably the most significant of them all. Jeff says, I wanted to get a full blog post announcement soon, but the announcement is basically that Edward Rudd, who is probably best known for Frictional Games Mac and Linux builds, is taking over the Overgrowth Linux build. So Frictional Games, that's the Swedish game studio, of course, that made Penumbra and Amnesia. So the guy who ported those games to Linux will be porting Overgrowth to Linux. And now it's kind of official. But there will be, yeah, a real blog post about this soon, he says. So hopefully we will see that within the coming week. And yeah, really exciting stuff for all Linux users. Really exciting stuff. And next we have a tweet made by David. He says, looking into controller input to support analog joysticks. Should be nice because the movement animation is already analog. So this very much looks like they want to implement controller support for Overgrowth. And they've had a kind of controller support in Overgrowth for a long time. The thing is, it wasn't analog, so when you used the analog stick to move around, it was just like pressing WASD. The movement wasn't, you know, smooth in any way. So I'm kind of looking forward to this. Much because I don't know how good it would be to play it with a controller. I don't have anything against controllers. Controls can be really nice for some games. And I think it might work in Overgrowth. But yeah, I don't know. I just like walking around with an analog joystick, I guess. We'll see. Looking forward to the controller support. So maybe we'll have like almost proper controller support in next week's alpha. That would be cool. Or in the next coming alpha, I should say. And then we have another tweet. Automatic camera rotation. It's kind of related. Adding an option for automatic camera rotation for those who don't like a mouse look or are using a controller with no right thumbstick. I don't think there are a lot of people who have a controller with no right thumbstick. I don't think there are a lot of people who wants to play Overgrowth without being able to move their camera, but like with their mouse. But I guess it's good. It's a thing that's in most games that in where you are controlling it with a controller, with a gamepad, I should say. Because you know when you're moving in a direction with a gamepad, you know in almost every third-person game, after a while the camera will kind of shift towards so you can see where you're actually going, which is good because it's annoying having to adjust the camera for just walking when you just want to walk in a different direction. So this is just another thing that they add because they want to add the controllers to the game, and yeah, I like controllers as I said, so I'm really looking forward to being able to run around with using my controller in Overgrowth. And that is the end of this week's agenda. So yeah, thanks for watching this week's Overgrowth Weekly number 41. And please come back and watch 42 next week. But until then, I hope you have a great week. So as usual, go to ogweekly.com for any information you might need, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.